Hey guys, it's Courtney. Today is day number 4 of my Mother's Day card series. Today I am using 2 stamp sets by Altenew. I started off by using this large background stamp from the Mega Succulent stamp set, and I am stamping on Canson watercolor paper. I'm treating this with an anti-static tool, and I'll be stamping with VersaFine Black Onyx ink and using clear embossing powder. I'm actually making a square card today, and I cut my card panel to 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 just so that I had a little bit of a border on my 5 1/2 inch square card. I'm going to be doing a little watercoloring here with some Distress Oxide inks. I'm using Worn Lipstick, Peacock Feathers, and Seedless Preserves. I'm not doing any kind of special technique here. I'm just kind of going to be dropping the colors in and letting them blend together. There's no shading or anything like that. Using 2 brushes from the Silver Brush Company, a number 6 and a number 4 for the smaller areas. If I had to do this again, I would start in the middle and work my way out, but in this case I did start with the largest petals. I started just by laying down some clean water on those areas and then dropping in my pigment and just letting them mix together and do their own thing. If I noticed that I had a little bit of pooling, or maybe I used a little bit too much water in that area, I just took the corner of my paper towel and just dabbed a little bit of that up. Being I did emboss the image, it is okay to work on 2 petals that are right next to each other. Normally, you don't want to do that when you're watercoloring because all of the colors will start blending together, but the embossed areas kind of prevent that from happening, being they are raised up a bit. For the areas of the petals where they're kind of folded over a bit, I worked on those a few minutes after I worked on the petal itself and let the ink kind of seep into the paper. And I just added a little bit of water and just a tad bit of pigment so that it was much lighter than the actual petal itself. I'll just show you the 3 petals here, and then we'll move on to the rest of the card. Once my panel was done, I went ahead and put that aside to air dry. I normally use my heat tool to speed up the drying process, but in this case I did not, just because I didn't want to remelt that embossing powder that we used in the beginning. For my sentiments, I'm using another Altenew set called Precious Moments. I'll be using this Dear Mom on the front, and the rest of the sentiment will be in the inside of the card, just because I didn't want to take away from the main image. I just took a piece of scrap black cardstock here, and I will be white heat embossing the Dear Mom. I cut that down to just a small strip. My plan was just to put this in the corner of the front card base. Like I said, I didn't want to really take away from the rest of the card. I wanted the image itself to be the main focus. I use my VersaFine to stamp the inside of the card with the rest of the sentiment. And just keep in mind again that this is a pigment ink and it does take a few minutes to dry. I use my ATG gun to adhere my card panel onto my card base. And I use some Scotch foam tape to adhere the Dear Mom in the lower right-hand corner. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.